Okay, hello everyone and welcome to the Techstars Space Demo Day. Before we begin, please do take a moment to silence your cell phones. We have a wonderful program planned for you today and appreciate your full attention. To start us off, please welcome our Managing Director, Gabriel Schlumberger.
Hello, and thank you everyone for coming. Really appreciate it. We're a little bit country, a little bit rock and roll. Hello and welcome to the Fall 2025 Techstars Space Demo Day. Give yourselves a big round of applause. In partnership with NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory and SpaceWorks, I welcome you. I'm Gabe Schlumberger. I'm the Managing Director of the program. And on behalf of Techstars, our partners, and the 5 amazing companies you're going to hear from today, again, thanks for making the effort to come. We really appreciate it. Okay, for those of you who are new to Techstars, we are the global network that helps entrepreneurs succeed, including the ones you're about to hear from today. We've invested in about 4,900 startups with a combined market cap somewhere around $130 billion. We're incredibly proud to be one of the most active aerospace and defense investors in the United States. We've invested in over 180 defense companies who've collectively raised a little over $2 billion, including some of the amazing companies you can see behind me. And we're just getting started. The founders you're about to meet today are quite simply incredible. Many of them have traveled halfway around the world to be here, from Sydney, from France, from as far away as Orange County. They're an amazing collection of some of the brightest minds in the space industry today. They're seasoned entrepreneurs with decades of experience, and don't let their chiseled good looks fool you. I think we're averaging about 1.7 PhDs per company. You're about to hear 5 awesome pitches from 5 amazing founders. As you listen to today's pitches, I encourage you to post and tag us on X and LinkedIn. The hashtag's on the screen behind me. Once the pitches wrap, and we'll have a little bit more of an interactive session, reach out to these founders. This is an amazing opportunity to get to know these companies and these founders a little bit better. At Techstars, we espouse a give-first attitude. Builders helping other builders. And our ask of you today is to find one thing that each of you can do for each of these companies. That could be an introduction to a customer, a potential hire, or an investor. If all of you do just one thing for one of these companies, or any startup in your ecosystem, imagine the amazing fire we can help kindle to launch these companies. Nothing worthwhile is built alone. Space is the ultimate team sport. It requires a tremendous amount of help from incredibly mighty founders. We couldn't have asked for better ones than NASA JPL and the US Space Force. It is my pleasure to introduce you to Ian McCubbin from NASA JPL.
Thank you, Gabe. Really appreciate Gabe's first cohort. First space cohort. He's done a lot of other programming, and it's been really great. I do also want to call out to Matt Kozloff, who's been here since day one. Back in 2019, when JPL joined forces with Techstars to produce the space cohort that was under Richard French's leadership and Andrew Shapiro over here. It's been an interesting 6 years to watch this space industry grow. JPL's been in the space business since the 1930s. We're going on our 90th year next year. We're the original space startup. We've been doing it for a long time. We've seen a lot grow. I don't think we should forget that we're sitting in the Spruce Goose hangar, which was one of the founders of aerospace engineering is Howard Hughes, and an eccentric rich person. And what we're seeing right now is another eccentric rich person who's contributing to the growth of the space industry. And I think there's some parallels there. So I think it's very apropos that we're sitting here in the Spruce Goose hangar and in the area that Howard Hughes really did develop an entire aerospace industry out of. And we're seeing that here in Southern California. There's a nexus here. What's going on here is very special in terms of the investment portfolio, the companies that are coming here. I think, as Gabe said, people came all the way from Orange County to participate in this program, but also France, and we've seen previous years people from India. It's really a mecca here in Southern California that has always been here, but we're in a new phase with this space startup ecosystem. It's just so exciting to be a part of it, to watch these companies grow, to partner with the U.S. Space Force, to partner with venture capital, to see what's happening here and what's evolved. And JPL is very honored to be a part of these Techstars cohorts. We've been doing it every year. Myself, Brian Lim over here, is also part of the team. And then we've had others, Mitch Ingham, who's not here today, Tom Swick. There's just been a lot of travel going on, so I'm here representing the lab with Brian. So if anybody has any questions about JPL, how you can partner with us, if there's any interest in working with us or any collaborations, please feel free to reach out to me and Brian. Brian, will you raise your hand here? He's our entrepreneur in residence from Caltech and one of our leads of strategy at JPL, and so am I. We're really excited for the cohort. I think it's been really interesting to see this cohort as I've watched all these cohorts through the last 6 years, more or less 6 years. And it's been 6 years, but there's been multiple cohorts a couple of years. This one was more advanced. It was interesting. I felt like the companies were further along. There was a couple of spinoffs from universities. I'll let you make your decisions. I'm not going to call anyone out particularly, but there was some already developed competencies in these teams. And I think it shows in terms of the level of maturity of these companies coming into the program. And there's been some changes, and I think those changes show in terms of where people are at on their evolution in terms of the companies right now. I'm really excited to see these pitches. I've been with this team in Washington, D.C., here in L.A. We've had them up at JPL. It's just been great to partner with all 5 of these folks, and I've really enjoyed the interaction. So I wanted to thank Allison in the back of the room for sure, Gabe, and Techstars in general, and I hope everybody enjoys today. Thank you.
I would also like to call up to stage the other half of the, or the other leg of the stool, Mary Shippey from Space Force and SpaceWorks, an amazing partner. Come on up.
Hello, so I'm Mary Shippey, Head of Strategic Partnerships at SpaceWorks, which is part of the Space Force. This is my first year supporting Techstars. I was hoping to be able to hang out a little bit more, but I was furloughed like everybody else. But I'm still going to do next year and next year after that. This cohort specifically was very impressive. I liked hanging out with them, and I think you will be just as pleased with what they have to say when they do their pitches. But what we have to offer for founders is non-diluted SBIR funding. We can give them, as an investor, you can be part of a program called Stratify TACFI where we will increase their funding to up to $60 million. So if anyone is interested and have more questions about anything that SpaceWorks has to offer, I have the website up here and my LinkedIn, and anytime during today, if you have questions, and for me, I'm here to hang out and answer them. So I want to thank Gabe and Allison and the team for their support, and honestly, Techstar team is amazing. They're so fun to be around, and I just like hanging out just to hang out with them. So this is the best team ever. So thank you and enjoy.
I will say it is an amazing, it's actually one of the best examples you can imagine of a private and governmental and educational institution coming together to really do amazing things in the intersection of technology and a brand new space. This is the part where I go off script, so Allison's going to be a little bit upset, but I want to give you a little bit of a sneak peek as to why we chose these companies, and actually we chose them in conjunction with JPL and also with SpaceWorks and Space Force. So space is going through a revolution. We're at an amazing crescendo of times. There are about 3,000 some odd things that were in orbit, that were put into orbit in 10 years ago total. There were about 3,000 or almost 4,000 last year alone. In 5 years, we're going to be doing that every month. This is truly a step function change in all of the capabilities and the potential. We were looking for companies that had enabling technologies. Each of these companies, you're going to be able to figure it out. Each of these companies is going to unlock a whole new domain in space. And so I think that from here on out, imagine we're not just building for today. This is really building the future of space. These are the cornerstones and the keystones in the arc of what the sky is going to look like in the next 5 years. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up James from Azora, and you're going to get to meet 5 amazing companies.
Thanks very much, Gabe. Hi, everyone. My name's James, CEO of Azora. And I'm here today because space has a data problem. It's still running on dial-up. So today, every spacecraft in the sky still communicates with the Earth the way we did during Apollo, using radio waves. But radio's reached its limits. It's slow, it can be intercepted and jammed, and we're running out of spectrum, which means that it takes longer to get an FCC license than it does to design and build the spacecraft itself. Azora is fixing this. We're building a global network of optical ground stations to upgrade radio to laser communications, bringing fiber optic speed and security to space, completely license-free. Now, today, most optical ground stations are large, immobile domes that can be taken offline completely by clouds. The answer? Build hundreds of sites, so when one is down, another is always clear. But when these domes cost millions and need daily maintenance, that kind of scale has been impossible. Until now. Azora is redesigning optical terminals from the ground up, shrinking that technology to the size of a shoebox. That means that they can be deployed tactically from a backpack or from a pickup truck. It means we can manufacture at scale, so we can build that worldwide network. And by combining multiple apertures with our proprietary sensors, we can revolutionize lunar and deep space communications. So instead of millions of dollars, our modular terminals cost tens of thousands, which means we can provide 1,000 times more data for 1% the cost from any orbit. Here's what that enables. Fiber optic speeds from low Earth orbit. So you know those orbital data centers we've all been hearing so much about in the news recently? This is crucial enabling technology for that $40 billion market. Out in geostationary orbit, we can reduce the ground infrastructure cost for telecommunication satellites by 90%, saving $50 million per spacecraft. And we could make it possible to live stream the Artemis moon landings in 4K, paving the way for a true interplanetary internet. Now, this is only possible because of our team. We bring together years in cosmology instrumentation and free space laser communications expertise. And we've been working together since 2018 as part of a project that I managed called Breakthrough Starshot, where we were designing a spacecraft that had to communicate from 7,000 times further away than Pluto. So compared to that, live streaming from the moon seems kind of easy. We are just about to sell our first system to the UK Space Agency, and we're in talks to provide gigabit rate downlink for a lunar communications relay network. We're signing LOIs with commercial SATCOM, Earth observation, lunar lander, and data center companies, and both the US Space Force and Navy have signaled interest in our approach. Now, we're moving fast. We're getting this tech out of the lab and into the real world. We built our first 2 prototypes in just 5 months, and I'm really pleased to announce that on Monday, we conducted our first of a series of tests with NASA, where we're downlinking data from a geostationary satellite 20,000 miles away using a receiver the size of a dinner plate, the smallest in the history of the LCRD program by a factor of 5. Thanks very much. Our initial 7-station network goes up next year, and as we scale to 25 and then 250 sites, Azora will be providing 100,000 petabits per year of secure, license-free, terabit rate connectivity. So I know I started this by saying that space has a data problem, but really it's an opportunity. Just like upgrading from dial-up to broadband transformed the way the world economy worked, we are on a mission to transform the way we communicate with space. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody. I'm Miklós, CEO and co-founder of Parsimony. At Parsimony, we are developing the first standard operating system for satellites. Satellites today are like personal computers in the 80s. They are all different because no standards exist. It works, but it's not user-friendly. And because of that, the use cases are limited. Personal computers in the 80s were ultimately niche products with only a few companies developing software. Now, satellites today are also niche one-off platforms. And what that means that although there is significant compute in orbit, only a very small percentage of that compute is being utilized. Computers sit idle. That is an unused potential for revenues of about $5 billion per year. Satellites are also not designed to be highly resistant to cyber attacks. Actually, they are quite vulnerable. It's a major risk for satellites. Now, Microsoft solved that problem by introducing Windows. Windows is a platform that runs on all of the personal computers. It's easy to use, and therefore it created an ecosystem which moved niche one-off computers into a global opportunity for hundreds of thousands of software developers, all developing using the same standard, the same software stack. We at Parsimony are going to do the same for satellites by developing SpaceOS, the first standard operating system for space. Now, SpaceOS is an operating system developed from the ground up for satellites. It's memory safe. It's a library operating system, very compact. It works on any satellite, and it makes it very easy to run applications in orbit. It's also very easy to update software or to replace software as needed. And of course, it's secure by design. Now, in light of the emergence of multipurpose satellites, the European Space Agency contracted Parsimony to develop the world's first app store for space, powered by SpaceOS. In February 2026, we are going to do a demonstration of what's the value that can be created by multipurpose satellites using a standard App Store approach to Parsimony App Store. Now, the opportunity for that is massive. And we have very strong partnerships in Europe, not just focusing on space, the App Store, but also working with Airbus, Thales, and OHB. We are in a project which is worth about €1 million to Parsimony, where we are designing the edge computing standard for space. We are also in orbit with the ClusterGate 1 mission, and we actually have several missions planned for next year. Now we are bringing our success from Europe to North America. And there is a need for our technology. We look at an addressable market, a market that can actually directly benefit from SpaceOS, which is about $2 billion just in Europe and North America. The total context is the market for satellites as a service, multipurpose satellites, which is about $11 billion forecast by analysts. But let's wait a moment. That forecast is based on the existing niche hardware, one of satellites. We are going to change that massively. And we can see that if a massive change takes place, we have many examples where a technology industry changed massively. A standard development platform and an easy-to-use app store is actually leading to exponential growth. That's exactly what we are achieving to do here, to lead exponential growth in the satellite industry powered by SpaceOS. And we have a team that has done it before. Thomas, my co-founder, CTO, PhD computer scientist, he built secure and efficient cloud software, cloud technology, cloud platforms, scaling from one user to hundreds of thousands of engineers at Docker. He built core components of the secure software stack for the cloud at Citrix. SpaceOS is based on his research. I have also built several companies, both in North America and Europe. We have done this before. Now we are doing it for space. We invite you to join us. This is the time for the satellite industry to transition from niche industry to mainstream to unlock significant value. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. We are happy to discuss further.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here. My name is Cody Waldecker, and I'm the CEO of Stellarian. In 2024 alone, nearly 3,000 satellites were launched. That's just as many as existed just 4 years earlier. This exponential growth in the number of satellites going to space is also leading to the growth of a brand new in-space market, projected to reach $5 billion by 2030. This exciting new market is being built on satellites interacting with each other for the first time ever, being able to offer services such as refueling, extending satellite lifetimes, being able to offer relocation, offering totally new mission profiles that we couldn't do before, and being able to construct massive structures that we can't launch from the ground today. Orbit is no longer the destination, it is its own economy. But satellites today weren't designed for that future. Every operation that requires one satellite to approach or work near another depends on a few core capabilities. The ability to see, to sense, and to understand objects around us in real time. Satellites today cannot do this autonomously, and Stellarian is solving that. Our solution is AI-powered vision software. This allows satellites to be able to perceive and understand objects around them all in real time without the need for any human intervention. It operates on board using satellites' pre-existing cameras and compute. It operates totally on board, so there's no need for any kind of ground intervention. Nobody on the ground pushing the buttons. And there's no need for satellites to be a part of the same constellation, made by the same manufacturers or operated by the same government. And there's no need for any pre-position markers at all. While we offer the software for those who have the hardware in place, those who want an all-in-one solution, we offer AceCam, a combination of off-the-shelf cameras and computers combined with our software, optimized and ready to be installed on any satellite. And this isn't just science fiction excitement. In our first year alone, we participated in the Techstars Space Accelerator. We worked on our first US Space Force contract, and we secured $48 million in commercial letters of intent, all focused on using our software to enable the in-space economy. And just last week, we were accepted into the SDA TAP Lab, giving us daily communication with our Space Force customers. And we're in deep talks with partners to launch our software to space and test it just next month. And we have the team to get this done. We have expertise in AI, astrodynamics and spacecraft systems, and experience from institutions such as SpaceX, Georgia Tech, Purdue, Amazon, and AMD. At Stellarian, we are enabling the in-space economy. If you're interested in partnering or learning more, please reach out to me or my team. Thank you.
It's raining. In a small mission control room, a handful of engineers and one anxious investor are looking at the screen, waiting for the first signal from the new batch of satellites they have just launched. Years of work, separation confirmed, but the screen stays silent. $50 million gone, and no idea what has failed or how to build a better satellite next time. And this happens to operators around the world and even giants like SpaceX. More than 20% of all new satellites never call home, costing the industry $1 billion a year. They are tumbling out of control, unable to lock onto their ground station signal. They lose power. They fail due to bugs in their code. But most of the time, we just don't know what kills them. Because if satellite is in trouble, it can't call home and tell us what's happening. My name is Mikhail. I'm a CEO of N61, where we bring hope to space innovators around the world. For them, we've built a beacon. We install it on a satellite before launch. And once in space, it provides always-on link to the ground that works even if the satellite is tumbling. We use the same secure network that's trusted by US Defense to talk to their ground units today in conflict zones. If satellite is out of power, the beacon stays on, using its own independent power supply. It has a bunch of sensors so that team on the ground always knows what has failed and can use the beacon to upload a software update and bring their satellite back online. We launched our first beacon in space in February 24. In April 25, we closed our first sales. And then, in just 6 months, we already have $5 million in booked revenue with customers across Asia Pacific, Europe, and the US. $40 million in the sales pipeline that we will close by 28. That's $500 million of assets protected by the beacons. Insurance companies love our product. Sompo in Japan now requires our beacon to be installed on every single satellite that they cover. By 2030, beacons will be on all new satellites, and we're already working on models for every satellite class. But this is just the beginning. Beacons fundamentally transform the way we communicate with satellites. Operators without the beacon talk to their satellites only a couple of times a day when they're flying directly above their ground station for a couple of minutes, if the weather is good. And that means every image they download from that satellite is already 12 hours old. Our customers use beacons' always-on connection to get these images the moment they're captured. Yeah, which is very important for things like natural disasters and national security, where hours of delay otherwise will make this image useless. We're doubling the revenue our customers generate, and together disrupting $20 billion remote sensing market. We founded N61 in Australia, a home of great talent with an excellent access to in the Pacific, the fastest growing satellite market in the world. Our team in Sydney has been working together for 4 years, building flight-proven space systems and delivering mission success for our customers. Let's put beacons of hope on every satellite and turn silent despair in mission control rooms around the world into resounding success.
Hello, everyone. I'm Albert, the CEO and co-founder of Sysgam. Today, we have more than 15,000 satellites in orbit, and that number is expected to increase to over 100,000 in the next 5 years. While there used to be only a few large spacecraft in orbit, today space is massively filled with constellations of small sats. These new smaller satellites are cheaper and faster to build, but they all share one critical limitation. They cannot maneuver efficiently. If they have maneuvering systems at all, they are bulky, power-hungry, and simply not designed to match these small spacecraft. Propulsion has not scaled down to match these new satellite sizes. And when satellites lack propulsion, these limitations show up immediately. They deorbit too early, losing years of mission lifetime. They have limited orbit transfer capabilities, which means that they are restricted on where they can operate or how fast they can reposition. They cannot point precisely, hurting communications and imaging applications. They cannot operate in very low Earth orbit, where satellites fall out quickly without continuous corrections. They face continuous constellation misalignment, drifting away from the network and breaking away the coordination. And when we're dealing with a space-crowded environment, they face an increased collision risk without a maneuvering system to get out of the way. It's an $11 billion mobility gap, and it's only getting bigger. When a space is crowded and dynamic, mobility is not longer optional. It is essential. That's why we created Sysgam. We have built a propulsion system purpose-built for the new generation of small satellites. Our technology has been proudly de-risked by NASA in the LISA Pathfinder mission, electrospread propulsion, where one of our co-founders worked on the underlying physics and hardware development. But that unit was the size of a trash can. We're taking the same principles and leveraging our semiconductor and electric propulsion experience, and we shrunk the entire system more than 1,000-fold into a chip the size of a penny, while increasing its thrust capabilities for over more than 100 times. Each chip in our propulsion system ejects the ionized propellant to very high velocities. It has two electrodes. The first electrode is the emitter electrode, which contains thousands of miniaturized nozzles where the propellant is fed. Opposite to it is the extractor electrode. When we apply a voltage between the two, an electric field extracts and accelerates ions and nanodroplets to create thrust. Our system is unique on its ability to scale this thrust by operating thousands of emitters simultaneously using the same propellant. What makes our technology to stand out is that our system operates at very low power, making it ideal for the smallest satellite platforms. It is fully throttleable, giving you full control of your spacecraft and allowing rapid maneuvers. It's inherently scalable from small CubeSats to large spacecrafts and unlocks operations in very low Earth orbit, where traditional propulsion systems fail to work. Because we're using an non-pressurized ionic liquid propellant, our system is also ideal for in-orbit refueling, which will extend dramatically the mission life. Our technology is currently at TRL6. We rate TRL6 working through years of research and hardware development with NASA, DARPA, and US Air Force grants amounting to $2.5 million. We have just completed 1,450 hours of continuous firing with no degradation and stable performance, and we have full exclusivity licensing rights of the patented IP. We're anticipating our first in-orbit demonstration at the end of 2026, where we're going to showcase a fully integrated propulsion model suitable for any satellite platform. Sysgam is poised to be the mobility layer for the new space systems, and our team has years of experience in manufacturing and research in both the semiconductor and aerospace arena, including NASA JPL. Manuel, Mark, and I have worked on this technology for the past 5 years, and Sysgam is not only building propulsion, where we are enabling the future of satellites where they can move precisely, and extend their mission life, and unlock missions that simply were impossible before. The next 100,000 satellites will need to move. Sysgam is the answer. If you want to be part of it, come talk to us. Thank you so much.
One more time, can we give him a big round of applause? again, these are the companies that are going to be the cornerstones of the new space economy. We're so proud of how much these founders have achieved in just 13 short weeks. And we can't wait to see what they're going to do next. I'd love to give a big shout out to our partners from Google, who are nice enough to host us here today, but are also instrumental in the success of so many startups, including my own. With no further ado, we'd love for them to tell you a little bit more about what they do for startups.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today at the beautiful Google campus here in Playa Vista. I'm Lucas. I'm a customer engineer in the Google Cloud segment. We focus on startups just like yours. And it has been just fascinating to hear you all about these incredible journeys and technologies you're building. I'm just sending email on Gmails and you guys are going to space. It's just another life. Contact me on LinkedIn if you're hiring. Thank you. I'm kidding. I'm here today actually to give you free money. I hope you guys like free money. We have an interesting program where Google basically wants to invest in startups like yours in the form mainly of Google Cloud credits. We have two different tiers depending on your funding status. As soon as you get funded, so you're always eligible for the START program where you get $2,000 in credits, get you started with any Google Cloud product, workspace included. And as soon as you get any form of funding through accelerators or just regular VC funding, then you get to be eligible for the scale tier, which will then give you 2 years of runway with Google Cloud, where we do, obviously you heard about Gemini 3 maybe launching last week, where we do like a lot of generative AI, but anything Google Cloud is covered. So you will get access to virtual machines, you will get access to storage, database, you can do analytics. Some of you might be in high performance computing, some of you might have a huge needs for data file storage and crunching numbers. All of those functionalities are covered by the Google Cloud for Startup program. So I will encourage you to take a picture maybe of this slide and scan your QR code. Apply is just one form request away, and you get an answer within a week or two. That's pretty much it. Thank you for your attention today. We hope you will be part of the Google Cloud journey with us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lucas. I got to say, as a founder myself, I've been a founder for 15 years. I've been a VC for about 15 months. Google's an amazing partner and makes it so easy to actually get your startup off the ground. So remember how I said that space was the ultimate team sport? We have a lot of teammates to thank. First and foremost, and I say this having been a mentor for a really long time for Techstars, to all of our mentors, thank you infinitely. During Mentor Madness alone, these companies had 375 some odd meetings during 6 days, and over the course of the program, hundreds more. Thank you so much to our mentors who are truly living the give first mantra, volunteering your time, your expertise to these founders. It's been incredible, and having seen this from the other side, I can't thank you enough from the bottom of our hearts. Next, we have an amazing collection of global partners who stepped in with programming and technical help and are there to help the founders succeed. Thank you to all of our global partners for all of your ongoing support. Allison and Carmen, you've done a phenomenal job of pulling off this accelerator, wrangling literally dozens of events, leading a field trip to Colorado and DC, and showing up every day with incredible energy and an unquenchable optimism. Thank you. To Matt Kozloff, our VC in residence, and my predecessor, you've left an indelible mark on the industry as well as gigantic shoes to fill. And you've been a tremendous support as I took over the reins. Thank you so much. To Matt Kozloff, our VC in residence, and my predecessor, you've left an indelible mark on the industry as well as gigantic shoes to fill. And you've been a tremendous support as I took over the reins. Thank you so much. 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 Thank you And lastly, but certainly not least, a huge thank you to our founders and their teams. It's been an honor and a privilege to spend the past 13 weeks with you, and we couldn't be more excited about where the journey is going to take you. Ad Astra. That concludes the demo day for the Techstars Space Accelerator. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for joining us online. And we can't wait to see you next year.
All right, everyone, there is lunch outside if you want to go grab a plate and then come back to your table, and the founders are going to meet with all of you and rotate around. So thank you so much.